April Fool's Day. Noble tradition dating back many thousands of years.
You know, I would say probably the best prank I've done. I took a light spray can and put just a little mist on the keyboard and then dumped a jar of blue glitter over the entire thing. It's funny enough initially because, hey, sparkly keyboard. The thing about glitter is you can never really get rid of all of it. A week later, you'll still have a couple of flecks somewhere. As was the case with this employee, at least 2 weeks later, still answering the phone with glitter attached.
I, one day, stole a friend's key, copied the key, and then every day moved her car one spot. And then one day I happened to have an event in the city where she worked, and so I decided to go ahead and move her car where she worked, but she worked at a public school that wasn't necessarily in the best part of town, and so when she went outside to look for her car, she couldn't find it, she freaked out, they called the cops, and by the time the cops got there, all the kids' cars were gone, so it was just her car in the parking lot, and that's when she knew. It was me.
I tend to hide in the closet, and when my husband walks by, I just pop up and be like, ah! And that sometimes scares him.
At camp, we had metal bunk beds. I took one of the cords to the fan and stuck it underneath one of the legs. And so every time my buddies got on it, they would get pretty badly electrocuted. And so it actually went on for a week before they realized what was going on and made me pretty happy.
All right, this prank is called Dueling Mice or the Phantom Mouse. And for this one, you're gonna need one of those wireless mice and everything that have the really small USB. So you slide that little, the USB part into their computer while they don't know, and then they'll come and sit down at their desk and they'll be working on their mouse that's also hooked in. You just go around to a spot where they can't see you, but close enough to where the wireless mouse works, and just kind of move the mouse around, and on their screen they'll see their cursor just kind of going crazy. And then like maybe 5 minutes later you go back and do it again, and 5 minutes later you go back and do it again, and just kind of drive them crazy all day.
One time I taped an entire Subway sandwich underneath someone's desk. The funniest part was 3 months later when he found it.
So one year for April Fool's, we pranked our origination staff and released a product called the Mumbo Jumbo. It was this hot new product for high-end buyers where there was no FICO requirement, no loan limit. The rate never expired, so you could take as long as you want to close and fund, or you could shop for a home. You didn't even have to have a home when you locked in your rate. And we sent it out, and of course it was way too good to be true, but at the bottom we said, click here for rates, and then that's when it said April Fool's.